we welcome to the DCL for the first time our Japanese team, Raiden Racing. Drone Racing Championships of Singapore, Lenkong in yellow against Rafael Stroll with the purple drone. And it is Lenkong with a better start, half a second already over Rafael Stroll. We see his view now on board with him as Lenkong is leaving him behind into the distance. Stroll goes over and under the bridge. Lenkong is almost 2 seconds ahead of him, the brilliant young new pilot to the DCL. Leaving Stroll, twice his age in the dirt, but Stroll is catching him. Stroll is closing that gap, and then actually the time slips away from him. Mario with the lead in the second lap. Over the bridge, slightly slower exit for him there as he goes left and right around our chicane. Stroll, though, even slower after the split S turn, the gap extending to almost 3 seconds. Lenkong taking his third lap now, goes into the triplet. Don't lose any time to Rafael Stroll, he will eat it all back from you. But Lenkong goes over, goes under our amazing crowd here in Munich, and Rafael Stroll is increasingly out of the picture here. Lenkong comes round, completes his third lap. Where has Rafael Stroll gone? Where has he left us? Lenkong is wrapping it up with 1 point. Needs second, third and fourth in behind you. Whoever gets this takes it. Raiden Racing in yellow. Swiss Black Flights. Kites in the purple drones, and it is 2 drones up front for Raiden Racing, and it is Suzuki and Lenkong getting the work done. The brilliant young pilot Lenkong with Suzuki just ahead of him. The split time showing that maybe Lenkong is taking the lead. Their teammate Asami is down. All of Swiss Black Kites still in the air. 2 yellow drones, 2 Raiden Racing Japanese drones taking the lead. Still another drone into the water. I think that's Mirko Sazena. He's going to have come out of today in a very miserable position. Lenkong now with the lead. Suzuki leaving him 1 second behind. Goto still in the air as well, with a young 14-year-old Lenkong got a point in the first single heat for him. Looks like he'll take his team to the semi-finals. Look at him go over the bridge, under and out of the other side. 1.5 seconds between him and his teammates now. Goto still in third. Stroll has passed him. Isla has passed him. They've got 1 more lap to close a 5.8 second deficit. One of the yellow drones into the crash gates. Lenkong against Rafael Stroll. Raiden Racing against the Swiss Black Kites. Japan against Switzerland. Third time. I don't think we've ever had a race rerun 3 times. A lot of pressure on these pilots. As we said, big heat, you've got everyone in the air with you. Lots of drones around you've got to deal with, but you know all your teammates are fighting there. And if you get into trouble, maybe one of them will save the day. Here, it is all on Rafael Stroll and Alex Mario Christopher Lenkong. Friends, Swiss Black Kites in purple, Raiden Racing in yellow. We go for the semi-finals with Rafael Stroll in the lead, and Lenkong in trouble. Recovers it though. Down on the ground, bounced it, flips it back up, and is still in the fight out of the triplet. Goes over the bridge as Stroll comes under it and over the water. Lenkong's DNF will get wiped out as they are still in the air. Lenkong now fighting out over the water. And Stroll not too far, it seems, in the distance on camera. On timing, it's about 1.5 seconds. And Lenkong, in their haste to try and catch it up, may have gone the wrong way. Their review will be to see whether or not they've completed the course the right way. As Lenkong takes the lead over Stroll. Stroll takes it back over the water, goes up. Should have been going forwards. Lenkong takes the lead back again. We go into the third and final lap here. Stroll sees Lenkong in the front, going through the second gate of the triplet, out over the bridge. Lenkong under the bridge. Stroll has got to chase him down. It's doubled up to 1 second now. Stroll with it to do. Lenkong's race is going to need to be reviewed though. Coming out to the finish, can Stroll close the gap on his final turn? Lenkong took a really long one earlier. That's a brilliant one. For a brilliant race from young Lenkong of Raiden Racing. And he is going to turn up and get it done again now, because he's got to come back on the stage for the first single heat. And that is going to be against Gary Kent. A few things I'll just tell you. He's one of the reigning world champions of the DCL. Blue is Gary Kent. Yellow is Raiden Racing's Lenkong. And Lenkong is off in the lead. In through the triplet. All nicely lit up now. We're getting dusk here in Munich. And Lenkong comes out 1.35 seconds ahead of Gary Kent. Through the chicane, right, left, right, and left to complete your lap. And Lenkong looks like that lead is staying pretty solid for him as he zooms through that gate. Gary Kent trying to close that gap on Lenkong. Can't take anything away from him trying. That's brilliant flying by Gary Kent. The gap is still 1.62, but if you saw how Gary Kent was flying then, Lenkong must be absolutely murdering it up front to stay ahead of him. Let's go on board, let's find out. Here's the triplet, good video picture for Lenkong. Nice clear shots from him. Smoothly done over split S, a little bit slow on the exit for it, kind of stalled it a little bit. Kent, as you can see, is flagged up for a wrong flight in his amazing haste to close the gap. Possibly gone the wrong way. One of our spotters has questioned it. That'll get reviewed if need be. Lenkong brings it home. They're at the front, the slow pilots. You want them to get out of the way. You let them go? Well, let's find out. Blue, blue, blue is at the front, and a yellow one comes charging through. That is the young Lenkong. Absolutely brilliant making it count for Raiden Racing, but the front is where he needs to be, so he goes there. Gary Kent is a second behind him. Lenkong, who won his single heat, who won the just points racking up for Raiden Racing and taking his team with him to the later stages. Looks like the world champions could fall to him now. Young Rock's son from South Korea steps up. Gary Kent and Heiko Schenk for Next Place Racing are down. Brett Collis, the pilot of the year, is in 5th place. And 14-year-old Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong, remember all of those names, because he is worthy of your support. He is dragging his team to the grand final. Young Roxanne comes out of the bridge, 1.5 seconds behind him. Lenkong finishing so smoothly. Some more brilliant flying from him right in front of our crowd here in Munich. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The wonderful 14-year-old pilot taking the brand new team Raiden Racing over the world champions to the grand final. Lenkong is a fearsome prospect for David Svoboda to face. Svoboda can get this thing done. He's young himself, he's only 17. But Lenkong has mopped up points again and again today. And when pressure has been on and he's had to do a rerun, gone and done a rerun, seeming like it was no issue to him whatsoever. So, against David Svoboda for Rotorama in red, and Lenkong ahead of Svoboda. That's not what Svoboda wanted to see, because he knows how fast Lenkong is from the races we've had earlier today. And Lenkong clearly in the lead as it is night time here. In Munich, it's just past 10 o'clock. It is nice and dark for some high-speed drone flying. Lenkong over the water, Svoboda losing ground on him, losing water on him. Into the triplets, Svoboda's view of Lenkong already through the first gate of it. Svoboda's up and down and shaking it all around. Svoboda's underneath it and out and ahead of him by 1.37 seconds. Lenkong over the water, Svoboda's not getting left behind. He could still turn this around on the 3rd lap. But now Lenkong pulls away in the same place. He got a good start, the gap slightly more. 1/5 of a second further between them. Lenkong out of the triplet, on up over the bridge. Lenkong, Svoboda, beg your pardon. Better entrance to the split S, lower exit, nearly in the water. 0.45 of a second, he's pulling it back. This is the end of the 3rd lap now. Lenkong puts in the turn, Svoboda's lost some speed. He is close to him, the best finish we've had. Look at the glow on the starting blocks. The yellow on the left are Raiden Racing. One is down off the starting block. That is a disaster. 3 still in the air, and they have to make it to the finish. 2 of them are in real trouble going into the triplet. 1 of them is down. Lenkong, superstar pilot for Raiden Racing, is out. Goto is out. Suzuki is out. Rotorama are up front and winning this. Svoboda, David Svoboda, after all of his reruns, is out in front. Jakob Thoman's with him. We'll get a bit of a race between Rotorama now. Even if they all die in the water, they'll have got the win for travelling further along the course. Svoboda, Thoman, Lengversky and Votava look like they want to take an absolute clean sweep and get 4 points out of 4 in a big heat. Not an entire clean sweep. They didn't get the single heat points. They're not going into this and winning it 8-0. It could happen this season, but it won't happen here in the grand finals. Svoboda, Thoman, Lengversky and Votava live here in Munich, completing the laps and completing the win over Raiden. 1, 2, 3. One more drone, Asami still in it, but Rotorama in with him. We didn't see enough of them yesterday, but they join us on the stage today. The Japanese team of Raiden Racing. This young man, gosh, this superstar, if you joined us 2 weeks ago in Munich, whether it was on TV or YouTube or Facebook or in person in the 1972 Olympic Park. He is Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong. He is 14 years and he won 5 out of 6 races in a day. His opponent, second in your picture there, Angelo Felschler of Air Carvers, Germany. Felschler up first, but then sort of didn't carry it into a forward pitch. Lenkong takes the lead from him, and 0.3 of a second away. Felschler went down, just parked it hard into the stones very early on. And Lenkong, who already, as I say, in 6 races on our first day of the season, 13 days ago in Munich, of 6 races, because Raiden Racing made it all the way to the final. Heat, Air Carvers, Germany leave us, but we'll have the big heat to enjoy. Yeah, that's Felschler up into the lead with Suzuki and Goto not far behind him. Felschler will want to at least get a win for a point for Air Carvers Germany and a heat point for himself to keep for the rest of the season, as there is a Pilots' Championship over the course of 2018. Suzuki would like to get another point for Raiden Racing and have that one for himself, but it's Felschler in the lead. Suzuki a little way further behind him now. Brandes and Maibon still in the air for Air Carvers Germany. Val did not start, as with his drone into the top net, he is actually disqualified from the next heat. So he's done here, which means Air Carvers Germany could only get 1, 2, and 3. They can't possibly beat Raiden Racing now, and a wrong flight for Brandes might even spoil that party. Felschler still up in the lead. Brandes has managed to catch Suzuki, possibly a wrong flight helping him out there. 2 green drones through that gate. One of them decides that he'd like to stay there. Another one goes down hard on the edge of the ball ring, just left your picture, and one bounces off of the crash gate. There is a Raiden Racing drone cleanly entering at speed. Up FPV. He's got that shiny blue drone. The one that lights up on his right is Lenkong's. 14-year-old Indonesian superstar, best pilot in Indonesia. Oh, and he's out. Straight into a crash gate of a chicane. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is a protest flag. Now this is very interesting. So this is the first time we've seen this actually at any of our races in Madrid. The pilots have protest flags on stage. They wave them. That means they're asking for a rerun to be considered, and there are certain parameters in which they can do that. Big heat time. That's a stationary drone for Andy Marakilian's goggles are off. He's had no input into this race at all. Just couldn't get that thing started. Raiden Racing are out front in numbers. Turner's mixing it up with Lenkong, Goto, and Suzuki. And Turner still goes away. Suzuki and Goto still in the air. Suzuki done, Lenkong done. Goto will fight it out with Turner. Remember, as a single heat rerun possibly going to change his score. So it's not all done yet. Turner and Campbell up front. Ibanez joins him. Goto says no. Comes third back from him. Turner still going out front. He had that trouble in the single heat earlier, and he might need to fly another one. Campbell still in the air. No, he's done. Turner and Ibanez up front. One is home for Quad Force 1. As we've seen, the gate wins.
Yes.
Who's going to win this? If it's not Hellhound, then it'll be the Japanese team of Raiden Racing, who are back on our stage for this big heat with this man, this young superstar, Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong, best pilot in Indonesia. I've talked about this before. I am not ashamed to keep talking about a 14-year-old pilot is not only the best pilot in his country, but picked up 5 points out of 6 in the first race of the year.
Super impressive. Yeah, at one point
in DCL history, only 2 pilots have picked up 5 points in a drone prix.
Oh, really?
And he did it in his first race.
Amazing. Amazing. At some point, he actually crashed at the first gate. Yeah. Managed to get up again. And I don't know, his opponent was hundreds of meters away, and he was still able to catch it.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Yeah, and he also has a very interesting tactic, because in qualifying he usually takes it a little bit slow, just to get to know the track and get that stick time. And he he never really hits full throttle until he's in a knockout race.
Okay, we're going to push this thing into a third point for Hellhound, or one on the board for Raiden Racing. Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong. As a commentator, that's a long name to say.
Yeah.
But he is deserving of every bit of it.
Yeah, I always say Axel Lenkong.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Some people call him Mario, some people call him Axel. I call him Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong, the 14-year-old superstar from Indonesia.
Yeah, what's funny is that his father might even be a bigger drone enthusiast than he is. Yeah, he's a very, very, very kind person.
He's got a 14-year-old son who can outfly him, though.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure. That is for sure.
All good dads have sons who can beat them at things. My 5-year-old superstar, Elion, he can outrun me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He can run all day. Now, after 2 technical failures for Raiden Racing, giving 2 points to Hellhound, it looks like the drone for Singhao Lai, I beg your pardon, Singhao Lai of Hellhound, he can't get his to start. Which means Lenkong is going to get the easiest point he's ever had. There's Lai standing up there talking to our team. If he can't get this thing armed very, very soon, he's going to get timed out here, and Lenkong's going to have the one all to himself. He can fly a second drone, I think, but time is against him now for him to have tried, and I don't think they've brought a second drone. I don't think they've attempted to fly his second drone. He'll have it ready, but I don't think he's attempting to bring it into this single heat.
They're having a lot of problems, technical issues on Team Hellhound. Very unfortunate.
So, Lenkong is going to launch out of the start blocks and fly into a crash gate.
Well, this is the shortest race.
3.31 seconds. Surely a new world record for the young superstar independent New Zealand pilot who's 14 years old and called Alex Lenkong. Yeah, okay. Let's see what they've got here. It's Raiden Racing in yellow. It's Hellhound in red. That's a possible early start for Lai. Singhao Lai is getting flashed up as an early start. He left his blocks too soon. He's still in the scrap in case that gets cleared. Occasionally it does, but the blocks usually don't lie. Lee is up front. Yunichi Koto is behind him. Lenkong is moving up, but there are big gaps here. There's 3 yellow drones, but the one up front is red and his Hellhounds. Sorry, white and his Hellhounds. So it is Kunhuang Lai, who we were just talking about, who's going to be reviewed. He's currently in the lead. No, he's not. Lenkong has come up there. Asami has come up there. Lai got himself into some trouble. Lenkong in the lead. Asami behind him. Kunhuang Li fighting it out for Hellhound to try and get that 1 point. That's all they need as they go over the wall. Hard right 180. That's a yellow drone. That's a Raiden Racing drone. That's a Raiden Racing drone not making it to the finish. Heights, they need to come in first and second at minimum to try and make anything of this quarterfinal. And the night sky is full of quads, and it is a purple one up front with 2 yellow ones pass him. They are Asami's and Suzuki's, and now there are purple ones all in the mix of this. The lantern sees everybody flying around in all kinds of directions. Everybody's mostly made it through. Lenkong's been flagged up as possibly having gone the wrong way, but it is 9 Shronda and Isla where they need to be, but one of them has hit the first gate into the garden, and I think the reaction of him bouncing off of that causing the crash into one of the drones of Raiden Racing. We'll find out later. It seems to be Susanna who's gone down. Michael Isla still up front, 35 seconds in. Lenkong is out of this now. His wrong flight is never going to matter. Asami and Goto Suzuki still flying for the Japanese team, though it needs to be 2 purple drones at the front if they're going to get 2 points to close this gap on Raiden Racing and have a chance of getting into the semi-finals. Michael Isla makes it 1-4. Semi-final stage. We'll work that out after we've done Marakelian against Lenkong. Now this is a fight. We want to see this. These are 2 of the best pilots we've got in the entirety of the DCL. Marakelian, possibly arguably the best pilot there is. Lenkong, the only one who's won 5 points out of 6 in a day so far this season. He's in trouble possibly for having gone the wrong way. Marakelian, though, is taking the lead way far ahead of him now. Lenkong comes towards the garden as Marakelian exits it and is high over the lantern. And Lenkong hits the exit of the garden hard. He's still in the air, though. Marakilian comes through to start his next lap. Lenkong is not over the wall yet, so there's a big distance between them. Marakilian really just needs to bring this one home. It's exactly 5 seconds of the lantern being his. There's his curve down. He's really got that bit nicely smooth. Now over the wall he goes. Comes under the gate, under the bridge, under the dive, and he is floating around because Lenkong seems you can't intentionally bring another drone down. Up we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a yellow one comes to the ground. It's hit, I think, the pole. Yeah, the pole is swaying. I'm pretty sure Lenkong, with the fastest start from the back of the blocks, has left us earliest here. We just need 2 yellow ones at the front though if we're Japanese and want Raiden Racing to progress. It's Marakilian out front, Asami half a second behind him. To the garden they go. Marakilian bringing it down, Asami catching him a little bit on the entrance and then on the exit, spiraling. You see that drone spinning around in the air, but it is still in the air. Templeton getting into a bit of a mess there for Quad Force 1. Marakilian seems to still be out in front. That's the shot there, under the wall they come, and they come out around the back of the stage. Blue ones up front in first and second. They're not worried about not having the win. They'd like that one for themselves as well as to interrupt the 2 places that Raiden Racing needs. Suzuki is out of this, Alex Campbell is out of this. Marakilian and Templeton are up front. Raiden Racing. We welcome a team of young pilots. And as Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong said earlier, one who is old but still good.
Axel Lenkong is the 4th overall pilot in qualification. Bastian Hackel is the 6th overall pilot out of all 32 pilots. So these guys can race.
Yeah, and we know they can. Bastian Hackel, who joined us as a wild card in our 2017 season when we did our finals of the season in Berlin. Came and joined us there and made such a good performance on the wildcard team that Aircraft Germany picked him up for their main squad. Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong, I told you he's the best pilot in Indonesia, and I also told you he's only 14, and both of those things are true. From the back of our starting blocks they go. Lenkong with a better start, half a second between him and Hackel. We've had interesting chats with pilots recently about their sort of attitudes and their tactics towards starting races. Who likes to hit it aggressively from the front? Who likes to keep out of danger? We'll show you a little bit more of that later. That drone is spinning in ways it's not meant to do. Hackel's in the lead. Lenkong is out of the gallery behind him though. We've got a race back on here and Lenkong is one of the best pilots we've got. He takes the lead between the end of the gallery and the corkscrew and is back ahead of Hackel. His teammates on stage may well have said to him, "Oh, Lenkong's crashed," and then had to take that back very quickly. Hackel has Lenkong in front of him as they come towards the gallery. And a little bit of video picture. That's exactly what he's flying with. Remember, that's what we told you. That's what he's got. What you're seeing is exactly what he's seeing. Lenkong, on the other hand, isn't seeing anything anymore. He is done here. And Bastian Hackel will complete his second lap and then do this little bit extra he has to do. He's already got the point. He doesn't have to do this. After one pilot is completely out of a race, then the point is already yours. That DCL gate, Martine, before the crash. Bastian Hackel, then alerts. Here we go, all 8 drones hit the air. Yes, they do. A bit of a worry about the widest one for Aircraft Germany there, but it's Lenkong and Asami taking the lead through the Breitling gates, and everybody twitches and flies and clusters around the Ibis gates and comes into the gallery. How many are going to make it out of the other side? Well, it's the yellow one in the front. Looks like there's a green one not far behind him, though. It could be Lenkong up front. That wouldn't be a surprise. Out of the Sky Gate we go. And around the corkscrew. 1, 2, 3, 4 drones all mixing it up in there. It is Axel Lenkong in the fastest time, and it is Sebastian Brandes, who's now 2 seconds behind him, though. Lenkong has got such a brilliant speed, and look, he's not scared of that gallery, which crashed him earlier on. Absolutely no problem for him on this quad that he's got. He's going around that corkscrew, not hanging around. And Maibaum, possibly now the closest pilot for Aircraft Germany, is apparently 7 seconds behind him. Lenkong is blistering around this course. Is he going to do an incredible finish? Yes, he is. That is unbelievable. 54 seconds from start to finish. Meanwhile, 3 of the green drones have all crashed behind him, and eventually, 9 seconds later, Maita Maibaum comes in. Good finish for him.
In the quarterfinals, Axel Lenkong going crazy fast. And right now he's doing a single heat against our fastest qualifying pilot, Luke Bannister.
You don't see him looking nervous.
No,
just a
you never really do.
sort of out breathing there, just like, okay. Getting it ready. This is somebody you don't see nervous either. His full name is Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong.
Yeah.
And I don't mind saying all bits of it.
You pronounce that pretty fast.
I'm as fast as him.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm the fastest pronouncer of Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong in Indonesia. If you don't know.
I think in the world.
Maybe even in the world. Take that, Axel. Luke Bannister against Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong. And it should be good. Lenkong looking so chilled. Is he even going to pick that controller up? Yes, he is. And he's going to zoom off in a time of 0.16. But Bannister will not let him have that. Yeah, if this goes the distance, this may be one of the best races you'll ever get to see between two extremely skilled pilots who are both really, really enjoying themselves on top of their game here in Brussels. This is on board with Bannister. That's a Skygate exit at speed. That's a corkscrew at speed. And Lenkong, did he hit the inside of that? I think he's taken... Oh, no, he's hit, I think, the inside of that turn. Well, it was a good lap. I'd like a second one. Bannister doesn't care for a second one. He's just going to put it...
Good to go, man.
We will indeed go. It's yellow for Raiden Racing. It's dark blue for Next Blades. And over the Monte Art, they all fly. And Trowbridge is done there. And another one, I think. And another one. Ooh, okay, we'll keep stock of that. And we'll look at Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong leading Next Blades Racing into the gallery. He needs another teammate behind him. They're going to need at least two, remember, because it is 3-1. Oh, that's hit the inside of our Skygates. Try to exit it too low. Lenkong's got Bannister for company. 15 hundredths of a second between them. Looks like less than that out of the Ibis gate. They come towards the gallery. And Bannister's passed him. Lenkong will probably catch him, although there he is already in front of him. Lenkong is good at suddenly finding a lot more speed to gain on people who've surprised him, but Lenkong's come down as a result of it as well. Bannister might indeed just fly around all of Brussels entirely by himself. This almost never happens. It's just him. Well, at least to finish that, we had opportunity. It starts with Val against Lenkong. Val in green for Air Carvers Germany and Lenkong in the lead in yellow for DMM Raiden Racing. Different routes from both of them to Ibis Gate, but they come out not too far apart. However, Val very hesitant out of it, while Lenkong disappears off through the gallery. Around that DCL pylon, as you can see, it's got a lot darker now, the Sky Gates. Sees Lenkong exit it. Val is not even close to it until he actually gets very, very close to it. Lenkong was on his way around the corkscrew and onto second lap. Val is into the walls inside. He might recover that. Indeed, I think he may have actually got that back up in the air. Lenkong is well on his way halfway around lap 2, though. And yes, Val is back up into the race, but in air terms only. Lenkong completes it. You can see there he is, like, what is he? He's a pincher. He's a little bit of a pincher using thumbs and forefingers. Some pilots like thumbs on top of sticks. Lenkong's a pincher there, and he is wrapping this up, not completing the final bit of it. And all 7 of the other pilots are ready to go as well. They're all up in the air, including the terrible video for Suzuki, although his has dropped out completely now. Yeah, his video issues have gone from bad to worse. Up front goes green, green and green. Air Carvers, Germany, Brandes, Maibaum and Val switching places around between them. So Goto and Asami decide they'd like to switch some places around with them as well. Lenkong is in the fight here too. Look at this, green and yellow over the Monte Arts. And Val has come a bit of a cropper here. He's really had a bit of a difficult time whenever we've been in Brussels. Maitza Maibaum with that great single heat earlier. He's leading it. Lenkong is fighting it out with him though. They'll go into the gallery. And Lenkong is in the lead now. Maitza Maibaum has a yellow drone in front of him. And Brandes is coming in third. Remember, you only get multiple points in the big heat for coming in first and then consecutive places behind them. So green right now, it's not 2 points for them. It's 1 for Lenkong and Raiden Racing, and that will be enough to secure them the semi-final spots. And Lenkong does it. And Maibaum comes in over the top of the crash gate, trying to finish it at speed. I have Junichi Gozo, he's just with his teammates here, but I've grabbed Axel Mario Christopher Lenkong, who's looking very happy. Congratulations to you, you're in another semi-final.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a good race, and I had a quite bad start, but I managed to keep it in first. Because I got the bad start because my hands are freezing.
Yeah, he's even worn his way through his little glove here. It is cold here, isn't it? And that is a difficult thing to deal with as a pilot.
Yeah, of course. Because my home country is tropical, so I don't really used to this.
We should be racing in Indonesia, really, shouldn't we? But instead, we find ourselves in cold and wet in Brussels. But we are loving it here. You're enjoying this course?
Yeah, of course. It's a tight course, and I love it.
You go to the semi-finals. Congratulations to you, and we'll see them, and we'll find out who they're going to race next. Please welcome from Japan, DMM Raiden Racing. Pleased first and second. And up front they go in numbers. The yellow drones ahead of the green ones, and towards the brightening gate will sort this out. It's yellow, green, yellow up top. Len Kong seems to already be down. That's very damaging for the hopes of DMM Raiden Racing, as he is their best pilot, the young 14-year-old from Indonesia, the best pilot in Indonesia, but he's not featuring in this. Up front, Asami with Felschler and Hackle all flying around. Asami and Suzuki have to come in first and second, and it is Asami after the first lap who's in the lead through the Breitling Gate and out through Lax. No problem for him. Suzuki's still in this, but he's down in fifth. All of Air Carver's Germany are in between. That's a protest flag being waved by Len Kong. We'll come to that after this race is finished. We might get to see it again. Asami is through to Sayat turn and heading back out to complete lap number 2. He's still in the lead. Mybohm still with him, but he knows that he doesn't need to beat him. The yellow team of DMM Raiden Racing have to get 2 points here, and it is only looking like 1 as Asami comes in first. It's yellow teams of the yellow drones of DMM Raiden Racing. That is not easy to do, and with a bit of trouble from the starting block. It's yellow up front, second and third. It's all going wrong for Team FPVR. The lead is all DMM Raiden Racing. Towards the McDonald's gate we go. A little bit more action in the unwanted sense. The drones coming down. Pilots having problems halfway through lap number 1, and the night sky lighting things up so beautifully, causing such a beautiful backdrop to these brilliantly bright drones and the course that we have for them here in Rapperswil. Len Kong, Goto and Asami getting it done for DMM Raiden Racing. Suzuki's still in it as well. The 2 of Team FPVR are leaving us already, having only been with us for such a short time. Len Kong with a very fast and very high split S there. We've not seen many pilots take that Sayat gate by doing what we call a split S, by flying directly over the top of it, then inverting 180 degrees so you're upside down and then flying back through that gate. Not many pilots attacking it that way. We've had most of them come in in the sky, wasn't there?
Was there?
There was a small like sort of sparkles falling down, which I think might have been autumnal leaves. We won't worry about that. We'll worry about Evan Turner and Axel Mario Christopher Len Kong. 2 of the best young pilots we have. 14 years old for Len Kong, 15 Evan Turner. They've both racked up loads of points. They've both racked up loads of wins.
10 seconds countdown.
2 of the very best we've got. 2 of the very best in the world. Best in the USA, many people say, of Evan Turner. Best in Indonesia for Axel Mario Christopher Len Kong. And look at that, 1/100th of a second between them in reaction times off of the blocks. Deadly fast pilots were on board with Len Kong. Look how he attacks this course, and he's in front of Turner. That turn through to McDonald's gate, not quite so good for him, but he already had a decent lead, and he's still got it. The Sayat turn is quick for both of them. Turner starts to turn it up, starts to pull a little bit closer to him. He's not far behind now as they start lap number 2. This is going to be deadly fast for both of them. It looks like half of a second, but it looks like so much less than that in real life. Around the cone they come. Len Kong with a great turn on that. Turner's really good at those, as well as we saw in the corkscrews we've had in courses in the past. The water is both of them. Len Kong further ahead now. Turner makes it a really quick turn through the Sayat gate. He's got to close distance, and he's got to do it really, really soon. He's capable of it. Towards the Breitling gate they fly. Both of these will come through Lax. The gap opens up now. Len Kong is trying to split S to the finish. Now or never for Quad Force 1. DMM Raiden Racing are not going to lie down and let them take it. A bit of a clatter of drones off of the starting blocks, but it looks like all of them are carried on, although one of them, the light blue one, is a long way behind for Quad Force 1. Looks like Len Kong has come out of this as well. That's unfortunate for them after he gave such a great performance just now. Goto leads it for DMM Raiden Racing, but Campbell leads it for everybody and Quad Force 1. It's Campbell in the lead. Goto is scrapping out with him and takes the lead from him. Lap number 2 sees Goto in the lead with 13/100ths of a second between him and Campbell. Goto with 13/100ths of a second between him and Quad Force 1's chances of World Championship. Campbell is throwing it all over the way like the aggressive, brilliant, fast pilot we know he is. And he comes around wider on the Sayat turn and takes Goto on the exit. Goto's got Campbell in front of him now. Quad Force 1 have got the finals in their sights. Over the gates they go. It's Turner up front. Campbell's behind. Goto's in between them. Turner's going to make the final turn. Quad Force 1 are going to make the grand finals. Brilliant flying by so many of these pilots. It is Evan Turner who's in there first, and that 1 point will take Quad Force 1 to the grand finals.